All right, welcome to another Saturday morning special episode of A Soccer Fan Walks Into a Bar. We have Diego here,
What's up, everybody?
Aaron next to me. We are still exhausted from our Thursday night event. 2 days later, I guess we're not as young as we used to be. And then shortly after this episode, we will be heading right down to MetLife Stadium.
Yep.
All three
Yep,
of
let's
us
go, Bournemouth.
for the summer series doubleheader. So we got Bournemouth Everton at 4, followed by Man United West Ham at 7. So let's we're going to try to be brief here. Let's jump right into it. Thursday night we had Bournemouth legend Steve Fletcher in attendance. We did trivia. We did some Q&A, meet and greet stuff. Guys, this was your first interaction with him ever. What were your overall thoughts?
Oh, great guy. Great guy.
Yeah,
A
what
lot of fun to be around.
Yeah, it was.
what a personality.
I
He
was
was
really
such a
blown
good guy.
away. I mean, obviously, this is his job now. He is an ambassador for the club, um, but he's got that charisma and that kind of personality that just
And he's
gravitates people
and
toward
he's a
him.
team guy. He's proud to be the spokesman and
Yep.
the spokesperson, the front for Bournemouth internationally.
Well, but yeah,
And
between
that's a great thing to have because some people when they're the face, a lot of them do it for the money as well. But like no, he's a through and through Bournemouth
yeah,
guy, loves his team, loves to talk about it, loves to be around the fans. So yeah, no,
yeah, I mean, he
excellent.
mentioned it on Thursday night between playing and now, whether it's coaching, managerial, ambassadorship roles. He's been with the club for 30 years.
Yeah,
And I believe he's like 52, 53, something like that.
52.
So, the better part of his life has been Bournemouth.
Hey, listen,
Um,
and he broke some hearts around here. There were some American women that were drooling.
he is. I knew he was a big guy. He is
Yeah,
just
my God, he's huge.
6'2", but and his broad stature. I mean, he was
Well, it was
wow.
funny when he was talking to Michael B. Jordan. He was like, "Yeah, that's this
Yeah,
short
little
guy."
little Mike.
They was telling this short guy. Oh yeah. 6 feet tall, short guy. Let's go.
All right. So with that, I mean, it was like I said, it was a great event. I was blown away with you know
The people.
the people.
Yeah.
The I mean, let's be honest. Bournemouth is not an Arsenal. They're not a big 16 that have huge fan bases in every town, city, and village.
Yep.
Um, so we had people come in from Nashville.
Yep.
We had people from Delaware drove up. We had people from Long Island, upstate New York, Massachusetts,
Yeah.
just
Huge.
just to be a part of this event. And
We also had non Bournemouth
yeah, yeah.
show
Yes.
up too.
Yes.
So and it's you know I think we've gained. Obviously, Arsenal comes first and foremost, but I think we have gained a Bournemouth fan esque in
Listen,
Aaron over here. It's
as I always say with my favorite teams in other sports, like I will be a fan of them as long as they're not playing
as
my
long as they're
favorite
not
team.
playing Arsenal.
There you
I
go.
will root for them
Un-
36 games.
There you go.
Until
There you
yeah.
go.
The other
Until
two, I have to.
Especially when they're playing against Tottenham.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
So,
Everybody.
but no, it was such a cool thing to and not to wax poetic, but that's one of the reasons why Diego and I started all this is to kind of build this community
Yep.
around the sport that we grew up with and the sport that we love. Is to bring people together through the game. And I noticed, later off in the evening, fans from, one fan from Long Island and one fan from Jersey, they were exchanging phone numbers and like
Yes.
it was so cool to be a part of all that. And I was joking with these guys before the show. I don't think of myself by any means even close to a celebrity, but
Being
I
recognized.
have I've come to terms with the fact that now I am kind of known in this circle as the Bournemouth guy. So
Yep.
when other fans were taking pictures with Fletch, they were asking me to jump in the photo. I'm like, what the hell are you like? Why do you want this
Hey,
a little short guy from Cornwall?
there you-
Why do you want me in the photo?
Well, listen, I mean, there has been 2 years though. The work is being put on.
Yeah,
Now it it's kind of like a realization of the potential that it is. And
You're
you know that
you're gonna
exactly.
start seeing.
and I had this
Yeah, you're gonna start
conversation
seeing the results, the fruits of it.
before any of our public events. I was chatting with Fletch a little bit, and we had this realization where like you know Bournemouth is here now.
Mm.
Obviously they're still growing. They're not, like we said, they're not a big six. They're not doing those things just yet, but between having an American owner, they have now 3 players born in America.
Yep.
They,
Yep.
they have obviously Tyler Adams, Julian Araujo, who's American born but plays for the Mexican national team, and I can't think of it. Matai, there's a young defender from DC United that they brought in last year.
Yeah.
So they have this American base,
Yes.
available to them, and obviously, let's not kid ourselves. The marketing dollars that can be made from an American fan base. As an Arsenal fan, first and foremost with
Yeah.
between Kroenke and all the
Yes.
U.S. tours and this and that, it's ripe for the picking.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, and it was one of those things that we were talking to Fletch as well, like how to develop American
Yeah.
soccer. You start sending the young players up there and have him take advantage of that situation, of that possibility of having an American owner that is going to try to maybe prioritize these things.
Yeah.
It's going to bring the game a long way for us.
Yeah, I mean they already do. They have a summer league, they rather a summer camp and a league out in Vegas, where
Yes.
Bill Foley most of his operations are based. So it is nice to see that they are trying to bring that here.
Mhm.
Um, Obviously, locally here, having Tyler Adams as a face of the club.
Well, he was the catalyst for
Yeah.
us to be doing what we're doing
Absolutely,
right now. To be honest,
absolutely. So
shout out to him, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. It was the big motivator for
Yeah.
Dave and I to
but
start going on this.
and I mean Diego, firsthand every interaction we've gotten from the club itself, not just fans, but
Yes.
executives at the club and
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
marketing guys and directors and everything has been incredible in the best way possible. They are still run like the bodega down the store. That's like a mom and pop kind of
Yeah.
operation. Um, and it's been great. It can be frustrating at times when they don't have the full array of like everything that we kind of
Bigger
see
teams
from
have, yeah.
bigger teams, but to have the access that we have has been second to none. So um and we had a wonderful tattoo artist here. We had a few people get obviously some Bournemouth tattoos, one of which is my wife's, and all
Shout
over
out to Mary and the Cherry.
all over Bournemouth's social media. So we were joking. She has the most famous calf in social media this week.
Trending.
But no, it was like I said, great overall event. Love bringing the people together. Obviously, a Thursday night in the middle of summer is not the easiest
Yes.
time
Yeah.
frame to attend. So
Yeah.
we are incredibly thankful to everyone that came near and far, whether you're a Brewery fan, whether you're a soccer fan, whether you're a Bournemouth fan, whatever it is. Thank
Absolutely.
you guys for all coming. And let's jump right over.
And you know what? One
Oh.
quick shout out, man. Aaron, I know you were an Arsenal fan, but you were the Bournemouth face that day.
You were.
No,
Greeting everybody, welcoming everybody. And yeah, no, dude.
it was a lot of
Thank
fun.
you very much. Yeah.
So now, if you're listening, Thierry Henry, we got to get you here next.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
But yeah, so let's hop right over from Bournemouth. Let's hop over to today's games. Bournemouth against Everton. Obviously, famously, one of the last couple matches at Goodison Park. Everton was leading in the 86th minute, I believe, 2-0, and Bournemouth wound up coming back to win that game 3-2. We were watching it
Nice. Yeah.
upstairs. Maybe, and I'm talking even la remontada style,
no.
Barcelona PSG.
It's at that level.
For
It's
me,
at that level.
that was the most improbable comeback I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You're in the 86th, 88th minute, whatever it was, down 2-0.
Yeah.
And not just to draw, you win.
You
3-2.
win it. You come back and get that thing and get the best result you possibly can.
And I don't have it in front of me. If I'm not mistaken, I also believe Bournemouth beat Everton in the last FA Cup match ever at Goodison Park later in the
I
year.
think so. Yes.
And
it was short.
I think was it a Daniel Jefferson goal to finish it off? I can't recall, but obviously they're moving on to a new stadium with the year coming up. So, what do we think about the games today?
Aaron, I give you the floor first, my friend.
So I think it's gonna be a close game. I think we're gonna see both sides try to work in newer players. Right, they both had a couple players leaving the off season, so now they're going to get the young guys, get their legs going, and try to see which ones can match.
Yeah, and for the record, I have, and I'm honest when I tell you this, I have no insider information on it. The extent of my knowledge is looking at the photo and video galleries. I have not seen Tyler Adams at all in any of this
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
sessions, so I would not anticipate seeing him on the field today. He had a long season. He was finally mostly healthy. He played in the Gold Cup as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
you don't want to
so,
have
yeah,
these.
some well
games via
needed
him,
R and R for Ty.
Absolutely.
He
So-
might be on the grounds. You might just.
Oh yeah,
up
I
and
can't imagine, especially with his New York and New Jersey roots.
Yeah, I know.
I
He'll
can't
be a-
see him not there, but
He'll be in the pictures, but he's not gonna be in the pitch.
Correct.
so yeah. So I think it'll be. I for one am extremely interested. Obviously, we talked about it. I don't know if it was last week or the week before about losing Milos Kerkez to Liverpool, losing Kepa to Arsenal, losing Dean Howson to Real Madrid. So that back 4+ keeper is
Yeah.
they're gonna take their lumps. A lot of experimentation. Andoni Iraola is not the easiest. I shouldn't say not the easiest coach to play for, but not the easiest style to adapt to. So
No,
you
no,
know,
it requires
it
a lot
will
of
definitely
studying.
take some time. And this, these matches, whether it's today or when they're out in Chicago on Wednesday, I believe, or down in Atlanta next week, those matches will go a long way to hopefully getting everyone on the same page for the Premier League start, which is what, 3 weeks away now.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. Time flew by.
I know.
I mean, we got it filled up with all these international competitions.
I know.
and
Yeah, we got
everything.
Club World Cup. We got
that felt even quicker because
have-
there was no.
listen.
gaps.
We have Leagues Cup coming up also, MLS and Liga MX.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have obviously the Women's Euro, Copa America Femenina.
Yeah. Shout out to
it's-
Colombia, though, by
yeah.
the way, since you mentioned that.
There we
They're
go.
doing really well
Yeah.
in the Copa America. So let's hope that the girls do a little better than the guys are doing right now.
How long? And forgive me for not even looking this up. How often when did they start doing the women's side for Copa America? Because I don't ever recall it.
Oh, no, it's very recent. It's
Yeah.
within the last, I want to say, 2 Copa America. So
gonna-
I want to say 4 years total.
All right, I'm gonna try to look it up right now while you guys chat a bit.
Yeah, no, I think that's what it is because it used to be. I mean, there used to be a tournament, but it used to be like more reserve. It was, and it was mostly Brazil and USA and Mexico. Like there weren't really all the teams established already.
Well, just to give you an idea, they don't even have an English language Wikipedia page.
There you go. I got you. I'll translate. For you.
Yeah. Well, Google will do it for me.
Yeah.
So it was founded in 1991. So actually a little bit.
But
older-
it was
older
very
than I
small.
thought.
No, that's the
Yeah.
thing. The
Yeah, 10 teams. Total.
Oh.
tournament as it is now is like only like maybe less than 10 years old.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, but again, obviously the growth of the women's game.
Yeah, absolutely,
Especially
exactly.
with obviously we have Colombian roots here on the show, but the Brazilian roots with Marta.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Gavinha,
absolutely.
and all those squads.
But but the thing with the Americas is that infrastructural wise, Peru didn't have a team.
Right.
Ecuador barely had a team. Central America was non-existent at that point. So it used to be mostly just like I said, USA, Canada, Colombia, maybe Mexico. It was like a small kind of tournament. So
Yeah. So in 2010, it looks like it was renamed from the South American Women's Championship to Copa America Femenina.
and that's
which-
when it grew a little
Yeah,
bit.
I'm trying to look it up. I almost wonder, with that name change, was there even, was it even sponsored by CONMEBOL at that point, or not? I don't see it anywhere here.
It was, but it wasn't like supported
Right.
marketing wise and everything.
I
They
mean,
just
yeah,
kind of like say, "Here's the money, you guys do the tournament," and that was that.
We could do a whole 3-hour episode on CONMEBOL and how they feel about women's football. So
I know. And as much as I am South American, I have the same type of culture. I disagree strongly with
yeah. I mean, obviously,
those
yeah.
things.
There's there's two sides of that. There is, and in Mexico and Central America as well,
Yeah.
there is that, for lack of a better word, that machismo, mentality and that
Yep.
machismo culture.
Yeah,
But
the separation of places.
right. So
That's not
either way, yeah, congrats to Colombia so far on their run with Copa America Femenina. On the other side, we have the women's Euro final tomorrow, England and Spain.
Oh, what a
So,
match! It's
yeah.
gonna be great. Spain is playing incredible.
So you have
Those girls are rocking
The
the house right
reigning
now.
world champions in Spain against the reigning European champions in England.
And
It should be full of fireworks.
England's right on the side of luck right now. 'Cause
They are.
The last two games,
yes.
they're riding high on that luck.
No, 100%. You are totally right. The thing with Spain is that Spain is creating that brand of being expected to win. Like they are the like super strong team right now. I mean, believe it, I didn't believe it. I thought it was gonna be more like yes, England being the European champion or something like that. But no, Spain is just showing out. Man.
Yeah.
Those girls are killing it.
Yeah, Bonmati has been
Yes.
incredible.
Oh, she's being good.
It really is. Um, I have two schools of thought. I think, and this is not obviously meant to disparage at all. I think women's soccer is a totally different game
Yeah.
from men's soccer. It's more, in my opinion, more technical ability, more small sided stuff, and and let's face it, most women, with their weak foot, are not going to play a 60-yard ball, across the field. So
Exactly.
you have to adapt
It's
differently,
very much
and it has created a whole different style of play. And when teams do that well, like a Spain, like in England, like the U.S. national team, like Brazil, even some of the Far East Asian, China, Japan, South Korea,
Yeah, Japan
you know,
is killing it.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And to me, it's no different than you have the men's teams that do route one, just get it wide, get it up the flank, and serve it in, versus a tiki taka style of play, versus
Exactly.
the counterattacking styles. So to have all these different styles, I think helps the game overall, whether it's men's, women's, both combined. Because let's not kid ourselves. I'm sure women's teams are taking tactics and ideas from the men's side,
absolutely.
and I'm sure to some extent men's teams are seeing what some women's team are doing and say, hey, you know what?
That might work.
There's no reason why we can't do this. Also, let's give it a go.
Oh, 100%. You
I
are.
think it's also become big for national teams to play each other.
Yeah.
Like we've been seeing a lot where the women's teams will play against either like the under 21s or stuff like that to actually get a sense of how each side plays.
Yeah, my big complaint. I this obviously we're going off on 17 different tangents here today, but welcome to a Saturday morning show with us.
Yes, sir.
My biggest complaint as far as the U.S. friendlies go is I don't. Maybe it's a money thing, maybe it's a travel expense thing, but the U.S. women's team will play the same team, play the same country twice in like a 4-day span in two different cities. I don't want to see you play the same team again. I want more teams to be brought in, whether that's in a tournament format, and maybe you bring in 3 countries and you kind of do a round robin.
Yeah.
But it happened. Was that earlier this summer when the U.S. played Colombia twice, in like 4 or 5 days.
Pretty much
Yeah.
back to back
I,
weeks or something.
that
like
does nothing for me.
Yeah.
As a fan. I would assume.
already saw
I would
one.
assume the players don't want to play the same team twice in a row like that.
Yeah.
Like what do we? It has to be an expense thing.
It totally is. So yes, I'd like to read
Why-
about
why-
that and everything.
why
My
fly
mom
in-
is an avid women's soccer
Yeah.
fan, so she was telling me that that's what it is, infrastructure in most countries. Once again, this is not like a thing that yes, this tournament started in 1991, but only in the past 10 years we have a boom when it
Yeah.
comes to actual women's soccer type deal, like at a national level. So most of the countries don't have the possibilities of flying. Like Colombia itself usually helps because the United States pays for this stuff.
Right. And
they
why
pay for
fly
it.
in multiple countries when you just have Colombia?
gotta
fly
go
them
just-
in. They're here already. Now we'll play another.
Go
match.
to different cities and
Yeah.
do like a like a
Like
thing, a
like,
tour.
like the old barnstorming tours of from teams in the
Exactly.
50s.
Same exact way. And the
Alright.
thing is, that's the only team that has the level. Like, why is the United States per se? Speaking of this country specifically, why are they gonna pay Honduras to go play if the level is not gonna be there?
Right, right.
They're gonna pay El Salvador. Like those teams are developing. The girls are growing now, but they're still too far behind when it comes to actually challenge a team like USA.
And now
They-
you heard it here, just like every other luck thing that Diego says.
oh yeah, no,
He
he's
dis-
gonna go.
he disparaged the Honduras women's national team.
They're gonna win it.
Watch out next World Cup.
They're gonna win the whole thing. That's what I'm here for, to
Yeah.
encourage people, bro. I just need to encourage them so they can say, you know what, f you, my guy.
Yeah,
We're
they're like
gonna do
Diego's
this.
talking shit.
Yeah,
I guess we
yeah.
gotta one.
All right,
We
so
gotta look in.
let me see. Let's quickly. What do we think predictions for the women's Euro final tomorrow?
All right, I think I'm gonna give this title to the other team, but Spain, man. I like Spain personally, like no doubt.
I think I think Spain. I think England has played great this tournament. They have like Aaron said, they have had luck on their side. I think they run into a buzzsaw in this Spain squad. I'm looking probably 3-1 Spain.
What do you think, my brother?
No, I was gonna say 3-1, but again, it has also been a weird Euro. There a lot going to extra times. It could be 2-1 extra time.
Okay.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, no. To me, Spain is just too complete. They're playing like the guys are playing, and when a whole country's style of play becomes unified, like your identity is like everywhere when it comes to women, men, youth, and everything. I mean, it just makes you a superpower. So I
Yeah.
don't think they can be taken down anytime soon. That's like my thing. It's like when America was dominating, you know what I mean? I mean, it's not like they're not one of the best teams in the world, but right,
Right,
now
right.
Spain is just one. Every facet of Spaniard soccer is just one, and it's gonna be incredible.
All right, so that is gonna just about do it for us. I'm just looking any last minute excuse me, last minute updates on Arsenal transfer target Victor Gyökeres.
And the saga continues.
Apparently, they have reached a full agreement.
The
Um,
rumor is his medical is set for earlier today.
Oh.
The announcement set for later today.
yeah, undergo his Arsenal medical on Saturday. So this is an article from late last night.
63.5 million, I think, was the final agreement. It
Ooh.
was 55 million straight up with the add-ons.
Yeah, and that's 63.5 million euro. So for our American fans, 74.2 million. For our English fan, 54 English fan. We have more than one. English fans, sorry. 54.8 million pounds.
Correct.
So it looks like some of them are plus another 10 million euro add-ons,
Yep.
and that's looks like they're mostly not too many performance based. A lot of them look like to be appearance based. So, and then qualifying for Champions League, which based on last year, obviously they were comfortably in there, but we saw the Premier League table, as it shaped up toward the end of the year, and it is a mess between like
It
2
could have
and
gone
8.
anywhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
it could have gone anywhere.
The thing was, is Arsenal had so many injuries; they just couldn't keep at the end of the year.
So
Yes.
It was just so hard.
how do you think Jokic fits into this squad now?
I think Havertz starts, Gyökeres backs him up, and then I think Jesus off the bench.
That makes sense.
There's no. Is there any way we get both Jokic
Jesus
and
and-
Havertz on the field together? I mean,
It has been
you
a
know
long-
Arteta's style, admittedly more than I do, so I'm not.
It has
gonna-
been a long time since Arsenal has used two forwards. I would say back when it was Lacazette followed by Aubameyang.
Aubameyang, yeah.
But I don't.
Didn't
think-
Havertz play out wide a lot for them?
Havertz would play it out wide because they needed him to
Yeah.
do that. Yeah, he's able to switch because again he originally came in out wide and then they put him in the mode of striker because Arteta's known for
Yes.
multi-using his people. You've
Yeah.
seen that. I mean, again, Mourinho
Right.
came in as a center defensive mid,
Yeah.
played forward for.
Yeah.
And he did a great job.
So that's
And-
kind of like what it. All right.
Arteta has that Spain style of play where like they don't need a forward. right?
No. They
Very
just got
interesting
that
here
shit.
as I'm reading this article. Also, it says here the 27-year-old will. I didn't realize he was 27. I thought he was a little bit younger than that. he was on the books at Brighton for a few years.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that either.
Yeah.
Talking to shout out to Mike, one of the guys that they let go for pennies, but it says the 27-year-old will take the number 14 shirt at Arsenal. That is a heavy
It's a big
heavy
number.
number.
Yeah.
Obviously made iconic by club record goal scorer Thierry Henry. So
I'm surprised they haven't retired yet.
yeah,
They should.
soccer's funny about retiring numbers. There are few and far between. Most often, unfortunately, it tends to be like Diogo Jota in a situation where a current or
Passes.
recently retired
Correct.
player
That is one thing
away.
you're
Well,
you're
those are
absolutely
most
right.
popular numbers.
Yeah.
You got 1 through 11, right?
It also
Can't
in the traditional sense, a lot of not so much at the club level, but at the national team level, the tournaments require you number them 1 through 26. So
Yes.
you can't with my history with Italy and AC Milan, the Italian national team can't retire number 3 for Maldini.
No,
You know,
because
There sometimes
rules
there's like an
require otherwise.
unspoken rule on the club game of like, okay, we're not
Only
we're
certain
not
numbers.
wearing this number.
we're not
but-
giving you the number exactly.
Right, and then actually, speaking of which, Lamine Yamal, they just announced is going to be switching over to number 10. So he's taking Messi's number.
So, and that's the thing when it comes to soccer, the retiring of the number is not a traditional thing in homage. What it is you build history on that
Yeah.
number. So, like if somebody else is gonna use that number, he better live up to whatever the people before him did.
I have
That's
always,
kind of like the way you represent being the numbers.
I've always thought it would be really cool, and I don't know if it's a rule, with UEFA and FIFA and the domestic leagues, if any of the jerseys individually can be slightly different, but I would love to see okay, so again, to go back to my example, AC Milan number 3 jersey,
Yeah.
does it have like a special badge
Oh.
or a strip or something somewhere
Well,
on the kit?
it's
as-
funny. There
as
is
an
a
homage
president.
to Maldini, and then whoever's wearing that in the future, okay, great, here you
Well,
go. Or you
There
can
is
do
a
it-
precedent on that one. So James Rodriguez, he just went to Leon.
Yep.
So Leon did a special embroidering on his shirt, and it was himself celebrating of some sort,
Yeah.
like one of his iconic poses. So yeah, no, that would
Yeah, I think that would
perfectly
be
great.
cool,
It would be awesome.
like we're going back 30 years now, but like the number 10 jersey at Napoli,
Yeah.
will forever be Diego Maradona.
100%.
Or
It's not gonna change.
Let's flip it. Number 10 for Argentina. You have a stripe for Maradona. You have a stripe for
For
Messi,
Messi.
and then whoever wears it next.
Add on the
there
stripes
is-
or something.
Again, I'm sure there's a FIFA rule that says all the jerseys have to be exactly the same, whatever. But I would love to see something
Mhm.
like that
Speaking of
happen.
jerseys, they're losing betting supporters, right? They can't put those on the jersey.
The Premier League. This will be the
Oh,
last
wow, really?
season
Oh, damn.
that you are allowed to have a betting sponsor on the kit. So obviously, I think it's like a third of the Premier League has
Sorry,
has
guys.
those on their kits, including
is it.
Bournemouth. Much to my chagrin, I think I have no problem with people that bet on sports. I think the invasiveness that it has come into the game now, and essentially being promoted by the teams and the leagues, whether it's
Yeah.
the NBA, Major League Baseball, all this stuff. But the problem is you're not putting the toothpaste back in the tube.
No,
It's
no,
out
no.
there now.
It's already done.
done.
And I mean, so far it's only an American thing, or only the United States specifically thing. Yeah, people bets everywhere, and gambling laws are way different in the rest of the world per se. But here in America, yes, I think we can really say goodbye to non like betting sponsored things.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way it's going to be from now on.
Listen,
Everything
there was,
is gonna be
they
that-
made a rule, years and years ago about alcohol sponsors.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you go back in time and you look at, Newcastle was Newcastle Brown Ale. You
Yes.
had Carling was a big sponsor. Liverpool had Carlsberg around there.
Yes, 100%.
So, if we can't have those anymore, why is gambling allowed? And I'm not. Listen, I obviously the money is what everyone's chasing.
Yeah.
and I personally have no problem. Obviously, we're doing this podcast from a brewery, so I have no problem with the alcohol sponsors, and obviously, tons of other sponsors are in there and around there, and I personally don't like how open we are to sports gambling as a league, as a team, and then you see guys like Sandro Tonali got dinged up a couple of times. Paquetá is under investigation, although I do think he's set to be cleared of any wrongdoing. But you have all these guys that, if the club and the league is promoting sports gambling,
Exactly.
why can't they gamble on sports also?
Well, that's the thing, is way too dual and way too just obtuse to regulate. Because like you said, you know what I mean? First of all, who stops from all these apps and all this money that's been involved? Now that you're sponsoring teams, you're sponsoring
Yeah.
entire leagues for you to script things. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem. You are advertising something like alcohol. You're Nobody's allowed to drink.
Yeah.
You
Although
know
I
what I
will
mean?
say,
And alcohol sponsors things.
to
But
the alcohol and breweries credit,
no, so but
most
that,
of most of the sponsors of alcohol
yeah.
are the non-alcoholic versions of
No,
those beers.
and
So,
that's fine.
like
But
acai,
that's what I was gonna
Heineken
say. Even if
0.0.
alcoholic beverages or companies that makes them sponsor a team, they can have the team be like, "Yo, no,
Yeah.
you need to drink a beer while you're playing the
Right.
game." S- Gambling is different because you literally are affecting the results.
Yeah.
Like, the product is your profit margins is predicated on how you script this, or how can you predict or manipulate the outcome of what you are sponsoring. And that is a huge problem, because then how are we going to know in the future if it is a player that's shaving points or a
Right.
referee that's shaving points because the league is selling them,
No,
or is
you're
they
100% right on that.
so it is all these nuances and contradictions that are going to become prevalent eventually if you allow this to proliferate everywhere in the
Yeah.
world, or it just keep getting bigger in
Yeah,
America.
I'm
I love
curious to see how, next year, obviously we're the 26-27 season goes with, new sponsors and stuff. Again, I'm sure that'll help, and maybe it takes a few years of getting that out of people's minds first and foremost. Obviously, to my knowledge, these, gambling websites and casinos and stuff can still sponsor teams. It just can't appear on the kit,
Yep.
as far as I know.
Correct.
I
I mean, they'll probably still have stuff in the stadium and all that.
right.
So silent money, that's what you mean.
Yeah, I
Even
mean,
worse, even
Yeah,
worse, undercover stuff.
but if they're promoting it again, I don't partake in it for the most part. Obviously, like, we were in Vegas for the World Cup in 2014, and we would just wake up, put 10-20 bucks on a game and go watch the games. And personally, for me, I have enough anxiety just watching the games myself to add
Put money on it.
to add the money onto it. um but yeah, I wonder if it's out of sight for a couple years, does that reduce, the prevalence of sports gambling in and around the stadium? I don't know. Time will tell.
I mean, I see how they want to do it. I mean, because you got to think about it, right? Everybody's going out to buy the jersey. You give you free sponsorship. If I have Fly Emirates across my shirt, that's essentially everywhere I wear that, it's free advertising.
Right.
So by cutting down on that, you're no longer advertising more and more betting, not just in their stadium while they're being televised, but anybody out wearing their jersey for the day, their daily
Yeah.
use. As much as I love, what is it? As much as the sponsors and all that kind of stuff, they make some iconic kits, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There's iconic like Arsenal's O2, right? That will always. Be
I
iconic.
see. I'll predate that. Arsenal with JVC.
JVC, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
right?
god.
And
I think we had Dreamcast at one
yeah,
point.
and
Crazy.
and Man United's Sharp.
Yep.
Yes.
Like I said, Liverpool with Carlsberg on the front. Like
But you also got to go back to Barcelona, who at one point had no.
Yes, it did.
Now they made some of the.
they were one of the last major clubs to finally get on board, and even their first few years was with no sponsorship. Or I shouldn't say no money exchanging hands. They put UNICEF on their
Mhm.
kits as a thing. But
That was good though. That
Yeah.
was one of the. That's another iconic one that people still remember. That wasn't too prevalent, too relevant or anything, But like the true Barcelona fans will never forget that, and they always treasure that
Yeah, I mean, listen, AC Milan had the Opal logo for
forever.
forever.
That's the one I actually remember. I don't even know or can't even picture what the sponsorship logo is currently.
and it's
I think
like
I think it's
I
Fly
can
Emirates.
only see Opal.
right now it's Fly
I,
Emirates.
that,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Fly Emirates as
Yeah.
well. Oh my God.
But it's like I grew up, before I learned the names of the teams. You see, like I honestly, as a kid, I was like, oh, look, it's JVC is playing.
Yeah.
If it was Arsenal, or oh, Sharp is playing, or
Jarvis,
Sharp is
exactly.
fine, yeah.
Yeah.
or was it? I'm trying to think. Who was it? I think was it Aston Villa? Was Doc Martens?
Doc Martens, yeah.
Like but it's
Is
it's
it?
fun. You see these or Napoli with Buttoni. Was it Buttoni pasta?
Yes.
Yeah, and you
It was
had
Buttoni.
yeah, it's just like those iconic.
Vodafone, right? Was it
Yeah,
Vodafone?
Vodafone. You had for the longest time as much as they are my sworn enemy. Inter with the Pirelli.
Oh my God.
Pirelli
The
tires,
Pirellis, the
kit.
Pirelli shirts with the
Yeah,
stars on top.
yeah.
Yeah.
Classic. Classic.
So
But yes, so all those things. So look what is happening. We're going down memory lane now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So think about 10, 15, 20 years from now when our successors, let's say, you know what I mean?
Oh, remember
No,
when
no,
Bet-
we're-
remember when
there
Bet
will be no
365
successors
won?
to this
Like,
shit. We're-
No, but
yeah.
some young face is doing
Yeah.
this somewhere else and starting up a new thing. And they
it's
talk
a
about-
betting.
Yeah.
They talk about the what the Cash Kings, or no, the Draft Kings,
DraftKings,
or the
B-Win,
or the Calci,
Bournemouth is BJ88.
exactly, or the Calci Madrid, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Correct. Yeah.
Those are the things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the transition. Again, that at least in this country, when it comes to sports, and maybe it's not going to affect soccer immediately because, well, it's going to be difficult. But basketball and all the other sports are already taking off.
Oh yeah, big time.
And as a global market, it's going to be kind of difficult unless the Saudis actually keep advertising everywhere, and that will be the saving grace of the situation. That gambling sites are not going to take over international sports because it's just they're making entirely too much money. And at the end of the day, like we say all the time, you follow
Follow the
that,
money.
you get to the real root of the situation,
Well,
and that's the motive.
that was the joke too a couple of years ago because like even when you get down to the lower leagues, it's more than just one sponsor. On the
Oh
shirt.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Greek League's got like 2 or 3 sponsors.
Well, look
got 'em
at
on the
look
back,
at
on the-
again, the U.S. has started it too with shirt sleeve sponsors and all that. But like you look at some of these Liga MX teams.
Oh
and-
my God, it's
or-
like
or,
a
like,
NASCAR
yeah,
thing.
they're gonna become race cars.
Yeah.
Like they're just
And-
gonna have like freaking
Well,
bumper stickers all
it's funny because there is some pundits that say that
over. Yeah.
that they're like, yeah, the NASCAR shirt or something
It's
like
just,
that.
just a walking ad at them.
Because you get a bunch of things everywhere. Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
All right. On that note, we do have to get rolling because we'll be heading down to
Game
MetLife
time!
Stadium shortly. We'll be out tailgating. If you happen to see us down there, obviously you're more than welcome to come say hi. We'll chat soccer. We never get tired of that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Give us a follow on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, send us a message on Discord. We
We'll
are
fix
definitely
the,
building that up.
Yeah, we'll fix the Discord links.
Yes, we have an older Discord link that we have to update, but yeah, throw us an email, and we're a couple weeks out from the start of the season, so we're looking forward to all that. We'll be right back on Monday with a review of the weekend matches, including the Women's Euros, some
And the
MLS
game
action
we're
as well.
going. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll get some content out of that.
let's do it. All right, so thank you guys for listening, and like I said, we'll see you Monday. Cheers.
Cheers.